Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is the one and only your boy, Honcho J. I'm live right now with the one and only OneJustChris in the building right here on the Independent Scene Podcast Special Edition. I want to take this opportunity to thank you guys that's going to be tuning in, that's going to be watching. But with that being said, I'm going to let my man introduce himself, and then we're going to jump right into it.
What's up, everybody? Just want to say thank you. I'm super grateful for Honcho having me on. And my name is OneJustChris. If you're watching this, you know how to get up with me. Get at me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We appreciate you for speaking on that, my brother. So first of all, like I said, I want to welcome you to the show because this is your first time being on this, being on a platform such as this, and being, your first interview as you once let me inform me on. So tell me, man, what is it that what is it about you and your music, man, that makes you so unique and so different?
Well, so I've had music in my blood since I was born. My dad was an artist, and he turned down a record deal to be with his two young children, my brothers and his wife that I didn't know.
Okay.
I met him when I was 9 years old, and I was raised by my grandparents, and my struggle has been different than I feel like a lot of my peers, but we all struggle with things, and I'm uniquely me, just like you're uniquely you.
Right.
And that's what makes me different. We're all individuals, and we all have a purpose, and I've finally found my purpose, and I'm walking in it today.
Okay, I definitely feel that. So, being an artist out here in the industry, man, like, what has this industry taught you, not only about, what's going on now, but what has it taught you about yourself being an artist?
Well, I've learned that I'm capable of so much more than I thought I was before I started this journey. I've been writing lyrics ever since I was a kid, but I was addicted to drugs and alcohol. That held me back from pursuing my dreams for a lot of years. And having let that go, coming up on 2 years sober next month.
Hey, congrats.
Grateful for that.
Y'all clap out there for that. That's good.
Yeah, having let go of that, now the doors were opened up, and I actually started recording right after COVID hit. I was working here locally as a stagehand, and the last show we did was Billie Eilish on the 12th of March, 2020. And so when everything shut down, I had a lot more free time. I had a little bit of money. I had just recorded my first single and put it out, Revival. Everybody can go stream that if you want to right now. It's on all streaming platforms.
Yeah, go stream that.
And so, we recorded that. We put it out for the world to listen to, but we didn't stop there. I set my intentions. I didn't know where the money was going to come from, but I told my engineer at the studio right here in Raleigh I was going to see. Shouts out A-Rock Hill, Driven Studios.
Shouts out.
He's been influential in my growth process, and I just set my intentions and set an appointment with him every week. I didn't know where the money was going to come from. I didn't know how I was going to manipulate my schedule, but I did it, and we fulfilled it, and we recorded the whole EP, and then we took it to the next level.
Okay.
My higher power has opened up the doors for me to walk through every single step of the way. It's unmistakably not me. It's destiny.
Right.
That's the best way that I can put it. And being fulfilled in what I do, I know that I'm on the right path, and I'm just super grateful to be able to do what I love.
Most definitely. I hope you guys are paying attention, taking notes, man, because as I told y'all, Vice ain't free, but he's dropping gems already and we ain't even got fully half all the way yet. All right, so real quick, man, you came out last night to an event that we host most from time to time, that being Touch the Mic series, hosted by sometimes myself, Mr. Carolina Hip Hop, shouts out to Inside the Vibes, Family First Organization, the entire squad, with Touch the Mic. But what I want to know from you, being with you coming out last night and performing, man, and being around the people and feeling the vibe, catching the vibes from people, man, what did that feel like to you to be a part of that and to be able to come out and perform and just really do something that that you love to do?
Wow. So as soon as I stepped foot on the property here at the Arcade of Thrones, 399 Huber Street, downtown Raleigh. For those who don't know, come on out, tap in every Thursday night. But just stepping on the property, I felt the energy. Everybody was kind of congregating in the parking lot right before coming in, and it was just a really dope vibe already. So I knew it was going to be a great night. It always is. And anytime you can be around live music and people that are creative and share a vision, I think it's a great night. And it was a great event. Shouts out Inside the Vibe. Shouts out Trey Mars. We're in the studio right now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shouts out Trey Mars in the building.
Doing his thing. And, you know, Family First Organization, Mr. Carolina Hip Hop himself. So many people came out. It was the 252 edition, and I took notes, I took names, and I'll be back next week.
Most definitely, man. So, you know, I gotta ask this question, man, because, you know, it's very rare that you find artists as humble as yourself, man. So what I want to know, man, what did it take for you to become so humble the way that you are, and be able to move the way that you move, and people be able to relate to you, you know, in a way that they're able to relate to you?
Wow, that's a good question, Jay. So it took a lot of trial and error. It took a lot of failures. I've been down some really dark roads, and my drug addiction got me arrested, sent to prison, not once but twice.
Wow.
And I had a failed marriage. I got married when I was 21 years old, which I don't recommend doing that. Kids, don't get married at 21 years old unless
Don't do it.
But you know, I had a lot of life to live, a lot of learning to do, and I made some really bad decisions. What's good about that is I was able to grow through those decisions,
Right.
and learn from those losses and turn them into lessons. And I feel like that's what the journey of life is all about. My story is unique to me, but I've been able to help a lot of people along the way.
Okay.
And people are watching.
Right.
People
right.
are watching when you don't think that they are, and just by being yourself and doing the next right thing, because you know it's the right thing to do,
Right.
people are seeing that, and it doesn't go unnoticed, even though you might think it's not being noticed in the moment. I hear stories all the time. People call me up and be like, listen, you remember this weekend? I'm like, yeah, I remember. I had a lot going on. I was in my head, and you were there for me. Like, well, you helped me out so much during that time. I'm like, well, what did I do? You were just being yourself. And I'm
Right.
like, wow, that's a humbling thing,
Right,
to be
right.
able to make that kind of impact on somebody's life just by being yourself.
Right. Right.
And so that's what translates into my music. And I hope that the listeners get that message, and I feel like it comes across clear.
Okay. So my next thing, real quick, man. You spoke about being arrested and things of that nature, man. And oftentimes you hear a lot, for different people, depending on who it is. It's hard, it's tough, it's traumatic. But for you, having to deal with that and go through that, for people that are dealing with this same exact issue, what advice can you give to people? Matter of fact, what advice can you give to people that are, behind the wall right now, that needs that extra type of motivation, that needs to know, like, you're not out here by yourself, you're not alone type speed?
Yeah, that's a great question too. So I actually have a cousin who's incarcerated right now. He's been down for 5 years, and he's got 13 more years to go. Well, he was wrongfully convicted of these charges. Now, he's no saint, but he got too much time. They threw the book at him, and he's in the appeal process right now. And I told him to set his intentions, write his release date when he feels like he wants to get out. And
Right.
I put a date on the form. I told him November 26, 2021.
Okay.
And I said, take that, write it down, put it in a book, put it in your Bible, put it in your locker, and think about it every day. Meditate on it every day. Just like if you got a vision or a dream, think about it every day. Meditate on it every day. You got to see it before you see it. And he knows that he stands a really good chance of getting out really soon. I'm trying to get him to have the mindset that he can get out this year, and that's only going to instill positivity in him. And that's the message that I would give to anybody behind the wall right now, and that I give to him, and that I gave to myself while I was down. Stay positive. Think about where I am going to be in the next year, 5 years, 10 years. Keep hope alive. I always, in the back of my mind, knew I was going to walk in my purpose one day, no matter what the circumstances were. And I just had to catch up to my future self. And I'm still doing that today. And so remain hopeful, remain faithful, and try to help someone along the way. That's where I feel we grow the most, when we've walked through lessons in life and then we turn around and we share them with someone else dealing with something similar.
Most definitely. Wow, that's deep right there. Hope you guys are paying attention, man. My man's speaking real facts right now. All right, so real quick, man. I've been noticing, man. Because of course I've been following you a little bit, and seeing some of your content, things of that nature, man. You speak on religion quite a bit. What's that like? Not only being a part of the religion aspect, but being able to still be the artist that you are and still push what your faith beliefs are. How do you manage and deal with those two?
Okay, so my name is OneJustChris, and I say one because what I can't do alone, we can do together.
Right.
We are the one. Now, I found my faith through Jesus Christ. Now, I don't discriminate on no one else. That's personal to my story. I'm not going to push my beliefs on someone else. Now, I am going to speak on what's real to me, and that's real to me. That's what pushed me through my faith in prison and walking through those really dark times in my life where I was addicted to drugs and I was homeless on the streets. And I put my faith in that. And so that definitely comes across in my music. But at the same time, having the creative freedom to speak about positivity and manifestation and the fun that music allows. I don't discriminate on anybody. I'll come watch your show if you're a trap artist. I'm gonna support you. You know what I'm saying? As long as we click and we vibe, and I don't feel any negative animosity or bad vibes. You know what I'm saying? I'm there, and I just encourage everybody to keep doing what they love. And just have faith. You have to believe in something.
Right.
You have to believe in something.
Y'all hear that? That's once again real gems right there. Man. And this is one of the beauties that I say that I love about artists, man. Because whenever you're able to sit back, and hear the backstory, hear the reasonings, some if you will, behind why things happen the way that it just really puts into full perspective, who that person really is, and it shows that you may have messed up, you may have done X, Y, Z, but at the end of the day, you're still human, you're still an adult, and with that, you can bounce back from that. You know what I mean? So definitely, I want to, salute you for continuing to be so humble and continuing to, stay strong, keep your head up, man, because it's a lot of us going through so many different things. And like I said, when you have somebody that you would not least expect to be going through the same thing, and then you come across that person that do, y'all both have a genuine interest and a genuine something in common, so it really just works out together, and you're able to motivate each other. So that's why I would strongly suggest to you guys out there, if you know somebody, like my bro here that has been incarcerated, that's been in any situation, whether it be abuse, child neglect, whatever the case may be, definitely find that person that you could reach out to, and get some advice from, because they can help you, and they really can possibly, help make your life better. So definitely make sure you guys take heed and really pay attention, and definitely don't ignore it. Don't ignore the signs at all, because the signs are there. They may not show it, but I'm telling you, you definitely want to make sure you be there to help them, because you don't want them to be one of those ones that, ends their life, or do something that they're gonna end up regretting. So if you can help somebody, love on somebody, hug somebody, do whatever you gotta do, because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. So real quick, my next thing I want to get into, man, is we've been having a lot of these versus battles. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, but the one and only Timberland and Swiss Beats have been putting together these iconic battles with some of the most dopest, illest entertainers, man. But I gotta know from you as an artist, has there been one that you've seen that you really, that you found really impactful for you, or has there been one that you're waiting to see that you feel like it's gonna really push the agenda?
Wow, that's very deep. So we're talking about rap battles. What comes to mind when you mention that, man? It's like anybody versus Blind Fury.
Okay.
I mean, he just seems to crush it no matter who you put in front of him.
Okay.
So, I'd love to see him battle Eminem
Okay.
in a rap battle. I'd love to see him battle Big Sean
Okay.
in a rap battle. As a matter of fact, I'd love to see NF and Big Sean go against each other. I think that would be something super fire to watch.
Okay.
You know, I'm just a watcher of the greats, and I listen also. And there's just so many to name. I just stay tuned in and stay tapped in. But as far as who I would like to see battle each other, I just want to watch the show.
Okay. I feel that. All right, so now, man, let me ask you this. So what has been the most rewarding, thing for you that has, made you who you are today, like, as it relates to your career? What's been the most rewarding that you've learned?
Wow. Don't be afraid to just do. That's being 100% honest. That is the one thing that I would set my intentions to do, mark my calendar, not know how I'm going to get it done. Be afraid, but still walk into it and do it anyway. Like last night when Trey was hosting the freestyle battle, the freestyle challenge, he's like, I need 5 artists to step up, without hesitation. I went up there. The week before that, I hesitated and didn't grab the mic. There wasn't a challenge, but somebody else grabbed the mic and he held control, and the crowd loved him. And I'm like, you know what? Let's not miss that opportunity the next time. So as soon as his hand went up, my hand went up, and I jumped in the ring, and I came out successful. Okay.
So let me ask you this, man. And I'm kind of switching gears for a second. You guys stay with me. I'm gonna be switching gears quite a bit, but I want to talk a little bit, about mental health right now, because it's a lot. We have a lot of people in today's society now. Especially, of course, with the pandemic going on. You have so many people that are dealing with depression and anxiety and low self-esteem and child abandonment and loss of parents and things like that. What I want to know from you, man, is, and I want you to talk directly to them, what advice and tips can you give for people out there that is battling these things that can really help keep them and bring them back up to where they feel like they are enough, they are important, they are looked at as human beings, they can be more than what people say they may not be.
Yeah, absolutely. So firsthand experience, I've dealt with anxiety since I was just a young kid. My mom and my dad were never in my life. My dad, until I was 9, I didn't know him at all. My mom was a drug addict and still is out there. I pray for her every day. And, that anxiety was something that kind of kept me from doing what I wanted to do as a kid and being social. And I avoided groups. And I found out that if I'm able to talk to somebody about it, it lifts that off of me. So my suggestion to anybody struggling with anxiety or depression, because I've been going through that. Last year I went through a really deep depression, but what I had in my corner was I had people I could talk to about it. I had people that were there for me, and I could be transparent with them and not be afraid to be vulnerable with them, and then I could see some actual results, and I could see that weight being lifted off of me and that anxiety dissipated. And don't be afraid to say a quick prayer too. That's what works for me. What works for me is I gotta take a deep breath, meditate for a minute, throw up a quick prayer, and talk to somebody about what I'm really dealing with, because if I keep pushing it down, it's gonna find its way to the surface. And I speak from firsthand experience, and I would turn to drugs for my solution because I wanted to escape from that. But in reality, all I was doing was postponing the inevitable, and I was going to have to deal with that again. And so now I let it go. I let God, I let someone else have the thoughts that are holding me back, and they can help me walk through that, and I can share that vulnerability with them and gain hope and gain their trust in the process.
Okay. Hope you guys are taking notes, man, because I'm telling you, this is one of the most powerful episodes I've ever had to do. So I hope you guys are really paying attention and really taking heed to what's going on. All right, so, man, when it comes to your music, man, like, what is it about your music specifically that's different and that stands out from all the other music that you hear out here on a daily basis?
Well, number one, my music is clean. You don't hear me curse in my raps. Not that I have anything against anybody who does. I just choose not to. It's not part of my everyday speech. It can be now if I'm upset or something like that. I'm not perfect, but it's all positive, man. I speak about real issues. I speak about what's real to me. I speak about what I want to see in life, and my message is hope. It's hope. Music has a way to change your life, and it's changed mine. It's carried me through a lot of dark times, and in a lot of ways, music is a drug.
Right.
It is very addictive. But it has a way of changing your mood. And so when you're down and you're feeling some type of way, whatever type of way it is, you turn on that right song, you're already feeling better right away. And I feel like my music definitely does that. It lifts your spirits, it energizes you, and you learn something through it. That's what my music does that differentiates from a lot of the music that's out there. That I'm not saying anything is wrong with it. What I'm saying is my message is one that when you leave that song, when the song finishes, my hope is that you're a better person.
That part. Okay. So now let me ask you this, man, because I spoke about the pandemic a minute ago. We all have had to deal with this whole pandemic situation, man, and having to be quarantined and things of that nature, man. But has this, being quarantined and having this pandemic go on, has this, helped you or benefited you in any kind of way? Has it, what has this pandemic meant to you, basically?
Well, it's been life-changing. I'm not one who likes to abide by a lot of rules. I kind of do my own thing, and so during this pandemic, I haven't been afraid at all. I'll follow the law, and I wear my mask when I go in places, and I do my best to respect other people. But I don't walk around with a spirit of fear at all. It's just not who I am. It's not in my nature. I walk around with a spirit of expectancy, and I expect great things to happen. I expect greatness, and I expect greatness out of other people, because I know it lives within us. And what has happened throughout this pandemic is I've had a lot of time to reflect. I've had a lot of time to jump in to the studio and keep recording. And I mean, I had one song this time last year, and now I've got 2 EPs out right now. I've got 4 singles. Just dropped a 5th single this month. Music video coming at the beginning of next month, and a whole other album that's ready to release. We're doing some final touches up too right now. So, if you have the time, why not utilize that time wisely? And so I have done my utmost to utilize my time wisely during this pandemic.
Okay, and I definitely applaud you for that, man, because like I said, not too many people really follow, rules and regulations like that. Some of us, we tend to kind of bend the rules a little bit, kind of do our own thing, but as long as you continue, as I've been using the word the whole night, as long as you continue to be humble and stay true to yourself, things will all work out for the for the good. All right, so my next thing I want to get into real quick, man, is when it comes to your delivery, when you're out here performing and things of that nature, what is your mindset going into these performances, going into these areas and performing in front of people and really, just being, in that element? Like, what does that do for you?
So the mindset is key, right? I have to not be afraid to disappoint. I got to understand that there may be some people out there that don't resonate with my music, and that's okay. But I have to know that the message for me is what's the most important thing, not that I'm adored by people. And so the mindset is not that I'm the greatest when I go out there, but that I have greatness within me. And so knowing that, it changes things. I can look someone in their eye and I can spit my bars and deliver that message and hope that it reaches and penetrates them down to their very soul. And so knowing that it's not about me, it takes the pressure off. and I can just kind of let it flow. And every song is different. You know, my style is very unique. I feel very confident that I can write multiple genres of music.
Okay.
And so you'll hear me switch up the style a lot. But one thing that's consistent is that the message is impactful.
Okay. So real quick, 3 other things I want to kind of get into real quick, and I'm gonna try to wrap this process up because time is winding. But real quick, tell us about your growing up, man. How was that for you growing up and really coming into your own as a man and really realizing what it is that you want to do in life?
Yeah. Okay. So growing up for me, man, really has happened over the last couple of years. You know, I was just a young kid growing up with my grandparents, and my grandparents were older. They had raised a couple kids already, 7 of them actually. And so my grandmother was still working around the clock job as a CNA, and she was never home. My grandfather was working for the state, and so he would get up early, come home late, eat dinner, go to bed, you know. And I was in school and wanted to have a social life with my friends, but like my grandfather was always too tired to want to facilitate me going to my friends' houses and stuff. So I turned to my family members for my friendships, and most of my family members were on drugs at that time. So I got on drugs at a very early age, and that held me a lot longer than I wanted to stay, you know. And so now being sober, coming up on 2 years, like I really had to mature a lot through this process, and I really come into my own over the last 2 years. And you know, I don't rely on other people today. I got my own, you know, I got my own car, and you know, God provides me with every need that I have. Like it's an amazing thing. Like I cannot give him enough credit. But as far as the maturity process goes, it's still a work in progress. You know, I feel like every experience that I have is a opportunity for me to learn. And so I keep my ears open and I keep my spirit tuned in to what I'm supposed to learn in those moments. I'm still maturing today, and I feel very confident that I'm able to learn from everybody and hopefully have something to teach.
Okay. So real quick, my next question is, you know, once you get to a level of where you want to be in life, you know, what is it about where you're trying to go in life that you want the people out there that are listening, that are watching, you know, via social media, things of that nature? What is it that you want them to understand and know about you, and to be able to take away from you in the sense of, like, you know, knowing the type of person that you are now?
Yeah, so I see myself reaching a level of success where I'm able to add value to people's lives that I come in contact with. You know, music can be very profitable if done right, and I see myself reaching that level of success, but in the process being able to employ people, being able to invest in their lives and in their families' lives, and being able to make an impact in their life in a positive way, and then turning back to the community and reaching back what was offered to me when I needed it. That same help I can now give to them. And so to add value to other people's lives is the one thing that I would suggest.
You could. You can come on in. Okay. I feel that. So my last and final thing I want to kind of get into real quick, man, is, you know, and it kind of piggybacks off of, you know, events and things of that nature, man. But, you know, being a part, you know, of this industry, being an artist, and, you know, promoting the genres of music that you put out, man, has there been any particular genre or song or album or whatever that you've put out that you really had to sit back and think, like, to yourself, like, yo, like, this was really something that I was, you know, inbred to do, things of that nature?
Yeah, so my debut project, Revival, that I released, when we were in the studio recording it, like I said, we recorded it at Driven Studios, and then we took it to the next level. Shouts out Cash Hackavelli, Big Hack Studios. We took it to the next level, and when I got into the booth and started recording, it was like something more powerful than myself came over me, and I just knew that project was special.
What was
and
that?
Yeah, it means a great deal to me,
Okay.
personally.
Okay, real quick, ladies and real quick, let me let you guys know real quick. Hoko just walked into the building. Trey's other half, he just walked in. So that was her passing through. So in case y'all was wondering who that was, so so shouts out to her and everything she has going on. You know what I'm saying? So all right, so bro, like I said, I definitely, man, have truly enjoyed this time that I've had with you, man, just to sit back and to learn a little bit about you, man, and really, hear your backstory, man. So real quickly, what can we expect from you coming from 2021, and where can the people follow you at?
Yeah, so you can follow me at OneJustChris anywhere, any platform, all across the world. TikTok, OneJustChris.com, Spotify, OneJustChris. Don't be lazy and type in the number. You got to type in the word ONEJUST. That's just me. And what to expect? Wow, we're going to have a lot of elevation coming this year. I see it. We're doing features with people all over the country. We're dropping a feature tonight.
Yes, sir.
At 8 p.m. in Nigeria. Stay tuned for that with David Rains.
Stay tuned.
And then we got something coming up with Arch. It's going to be super fire. We're doing a lot of big projects. And I say big, we don't have a huge budget, but they're going to change the world. And to me, that's big. To be able to do something that's going to last and outlive you, that's huge. When you go out here and you create something as an artist, or as a creator, period, if it's just content, that content takes on a life of its own. And we have to be managers of that and facilitate that the proper way. And so I hope and pray that you guys will enjoy the music. Stay tuned. I've got a new music video dropping at the beginning of April for Dealing With My Demons.
Yes, sir.
And I'll be dropping a single every single week for the month of June.
Y'all heard it here first.
Stay tuned every single week.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this has been my time. This is your boy, Honcho J23 from the Independent Scene, the podcast, with the one and only OneJustChris in the building. We want to thank him for stopping through and chopping it up with us. I thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching. And I will see you guys next time on another edition of Independent Scene, the podcast. And we out.